Welcome to your weekly news update. First up, our favorite canine crusader is leaping from the pages to the big screen. Dogman, the beloved character from Dav Pilkey's graphic novels, is set to make a Possum debut this weekend. Projections have the film fetching over $20 million, making it the biggest opening of the year so far. Families and fans alike are eager to see this dog-human hybrid hero tackle crime and, of course, chase a few tails. In superhero news, Anthony Mackie, our new Captain America, recently stirred the pot with comments about the iconic character. After some buzz, Mackie took to Instagram to set the record straight, declaring, "I'm a proud American." He emphasized that carrying the shield is an honor and highlighted Captain America's universal values that resonate globally. It's clear that this star-spangled man with a plan is ready to inspire heroes both at home and abroad. On the celebrity circuit, it appears that there's a bit of static on the line between Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. Reports suggest that the duo, expecting their first child together, are not currently on speaking terms. While the rumor mill churns, MGK seemingly addressed chatter on Instagram, questioning unnamed sources behind these tales. As the due date approaches, fans are hopeful for a harmonious co-parenting vibes. Hold on to your hubcaps, Indianapolis drivers. The city streets are looking more like Swiss cheese with over 4,000 potholes recently reported. The Department of Public Works is on a mission to patch things up. But in the meantime, keep your eyes peeled and maybe consider that off-road suspension upgrade. In political news, Indiana's new governor, Mike Braun, delivered his inaugural State of the Address speech today. Highlighted the strength and resilience of Hoosiers, outlining plans for economic growth and a healthier Indiana. It's a new chapter for the state, and citizens are eager to see how these plans unfold. Be sure to tune in to the newscast and Hammer and Nails to learn more here on Uindy TV. Finally, addressing wrestling fans, ready to rumble. The WWE Royal Rumble is rolling into Indianapolis this weekend with over 60,000 tickets sold, making it the largest event in the WWE's 37-year history. Legends like John Cena are set to grace the ring, promising the night of a high-flying, body-slamming excitement. Whether you're a lifelong fan or new to the spectacle, it's sure to be an unforgettable evening. Well, that was your weekly news update. Be sure to watch more.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the first episode of Season 5, Good Morning Greyhounds. I have 4 very special guests join with me this morning to talk about all things Uindy Theater. Kaylin and Kate, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you? Pretty good.
Good. I'm pretty tired. So before we get started, can you please tell me a little bit about yourselves?
You want to go first?
Sure. I'm Kate. I'm a freshman. I am a communications major with a concentration in theater.
You're a freshman?
I did say that. Yeah, glad to be here.
Thanks. What about you?
I'm Caitlin Miner. I'm a sophomore music and theater double major.
Okay.
And I got my start in theater in high school. And I decided I wanted to pursue it in college. And I didn't really plan on it. But it was an unexpected, good step towards my career.
You know, Uindy just combined the theater department with the communication department. How do you guys feel about that? Like, do you feel more confident in theater and having that communication?
I like meeting all of the new people, professors and students, and then the opportunities that have opened up for us are really amazing and creative, and I think that's a really cool step to combining
Okay, that's
and getting
great.
to know people.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about Tick Tick Boom. So tell me, what are your roles in this production?
So I'm in ensemble. I am also a character named Conrad. He just has a few lines in a scene. And I'm also a counter guy, who also has lines in one of the scenes and then is in one of the songs.
Okay. So how do you balance all the all the roles that you're playing?
Well, I'm focused more on counter guy because that's my more main role. And has more lines, it's longer, whereas Conrad only has words. So I'm more focused on learning counter guy rather than Conrad. But with being in the ensemble, there's a bunch of movement, so it's just it's a lot. It's a lot of carrying things, so it's just remembering where things go, when to take them off, when to go on, when to know how to do choreo correctly, because still figuring that part out. But it's just like everything is just like a big experience just to be everything and like have lines, sing. So that's great.
What
So
about you?
I play John's mom as well as marketing representative gal. So we get to do a big scene in the show, and I get to have some pretty funny lines, and I think that's probably my favorite part. And then I also like being mom because she's such like a different character from the marketing representative or from ensemble, being
Yeah.
like John's friend. But it's really cool having like so many different roles.
So I know you talked about like your involvement in theater. How did you get into theater?
I actually have had this dream for a really long time. My dad was a child actor.
Oh wow,
And
that's cool.
yeah, he decided to get out of it when he was like 13 because he didn't want to like have to do all those trips and everything. But he told me that he did weather and like commercials,
Oh.
and I was like, that's amazing. And like, I got my dream from watching Disney Channel.
What kid did it?
No,
What kid did
literally,
it?
literally, I was like, this seems like so much fun. Like, this is what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
So I've started like with like plays and stuff. And I started doing plays when I was in my junior year of high school. And any show I can get into, I will audition for it in hopes that I get a good role. And then I plan to at some point I want to go out to Hollywood,
Okay.
start booking auditions, get
Big
on
dreams.
TV.
I like
That dreams, man. Yeah, it's a big dream I have, and uh, there is nothing I would ever want to do with the rest of my life besides acting on TV.
I love that for you.
Mhm.
So what excites you most about this play, Tick Tick Boom?
What excites me the most is that we are breaking the stereotype on the show. It's typically a cast of 3
Yeah.
playing all of the roles, but our
Wow.
director's vision was to break that up and add a tiny ensemble. I think we are a cast of 9 people, so we get to like do a lot in the show and just help the story come to life by adding more elements.
Like we're not gonna have a crew. Like the ensemble is the crew, so there's like a bunch of like stuff that you can do. So it's not just the acting; it's like bringing props on, taking off, and Melanie is like the best choreographer ever. Like her choreography is just amazing. I'm so excited for it, and the music. I love the music.
So about how many people are like in the play overall?
So I believe there's 9 in the cast.
9 in the cast. Okay.
Yeah, I think we have 9, and then we have our director, our choreographer, we have 3 stage managers, and then we also have our lighting and set design crew people, and then our costume designer. So there's a lot of people behind the scenes as well.
Okay. So can you explain what Tick Tick Boom is for those who are unfamiliar with it?
Yes, you can.
Tick Tick Boom is about Jonathan Larson and how he got his start in his career field.
Okay.
And
Based on a true story.
yes, based on
Okay,
a
so
true story.
that's always cool.
Yeah, so the story itself, Tick Tick Boom, is of John, who is a struggling playwright in New York City trying to get his big break, and he's about to turn 30 years old. So he's freaking out. He's like, I still haven't put on a production that's like making big money or like got my name out there. So he just feels like his options are very limited and closing in on him now that he's going to be 30. And
Yeah.
it's like a big milestone.
Okay. So that's pretty interesting. I'm actually really excited to go watch it. When is the production again?
It is the first weekend of April as
First
well as
weekend
the
of
following
April.
one.
Okay, so you guys spent a lot of time working on this. This is a lot of hard work. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes, 4 days a week.
4 days a
up
week.
until Tech Week.
All the way until Tech Week?
Pain in our feet.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot,
I
but
commend you guys.
yeah.
So how does this production compare to the past productions that you've worked on?
Personally, the past productions I've worked on have always been with very, very large casts. Some of them being like kids from ages 8 to 18 or even adults. So I'm used to having a lot more people on stage, and this gives us, with such a small cast, the opportunity to really just put ourselves out there on stage.
Yeah.
And like you have all this space to show and tell your story on stage.
Yeah.
Well, for me, when I started doing theater in high school, I was involved with a theater company. And so it was like real big casts. And the first play I did was a play that like I don't really think many people had heard of. It was called Up the Down Staircase. I had never heard of it either, so I was like, but then I did two musicals. I was in Legally Blonde and High School Musical in the ensemble. But so those were two big ones that people know. And then my senior year, I did like a student studio thing, like where students directed a show from scratch. And then I did, yeah,
That sounds really fun.
it was a big experience, a lot of crying and yelling, but it turned out really well.
Wow.
And then we did a show called Queens. So it was like a one-act play of like King Henry VIII and his 6 wives. So that's like, so it's basically like plays and stuff that like people hadn't really heard of, but yeah, so just like little things, big cats, just
That's
like
great.
yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you guys have a lot of experience, so I'm really excited to see it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kate. Up next, we have Liam Blaze, able to go and ask some of the hounds what they know about Uindy Theater.
My name is Liam Blaze. Welcome back to Person on the Street. Today I am here with
Liz, Angie,
Lauren,
Devon, Jordan.
Dipper,
and
Ray.
So, have you guys ever seen a Uindy Theater production here on campus?
No. I also have not.
not here on campus, no.
Yeah, I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show because my friends were in it.
So, have you guys ever been to a Uindy Theater production before?
Oh, yeah. Not only have I been to them, I've been in them.
Ditto. Yeah, I've been in a lot of the productions here. I've done a lot set design, built the sets, been in it, all kinds of stuff.
Who?
Dipper and Dalen.
And how'd you like that one?
It was cool. It was very interactive. So we threw stuff on stage. It was very interesting.
Do you guys have any idea where they perform, where the theater is, like Black Box Theater?
I think it's in a basement somewhere.
Is it Esh basement?
Crystal DeHaan, right?
In Esh Hall, in the auditorium.
So with Tick Tick Boom coming out in April, what are your roles with that, or what are you wanting out of that?
So currently I'm in the technical design class. That's basically what it's called. And we were just assigned to help with the set design of it all. And I know it's very cool. And right now it's in the very early process of it. So we have a lot of creative freedom and it's really fun, like just like throwing things out there, seeing what sticks, and like all of us having different ideas coming together. It's like, oh, what if we have this, or like what if we have that, and here's the basis of it, and how can we build it all together to really make the world of the show that these people are going to be the players in. It's really cool.
Uindy is releasing Tick Tick Boom, which releases April 3rd to 5th and 10th to 12th. Would you guys be willing to see that?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
I would, yep.
Yeah.
Would.
I would.
And then one final question, what can we expect from the show?
I'm sure it's gonna be great. The current ideas we have for the set design are very ambitious, and I can't wait to see them come to life. So it's gonna, just to give a little bit of a hint, like a human play pen, like a jungle gym. So it'll be really fun to see the actors jump around and just like live in the space of, New York, and really see it all come to life.
Laughs. It has like a very serious theme of Jonathan struggling with like his age and like his fear of like not being in his prime anymore, and will he make it? But it's a very funny show. We've brought it from like the usual 3 people to like 9. It's 9. And all of the actors, they'll bring their own spin on it. I think there's a specific scene where like it's a very serious scene, but Natalie pops out and does finger guns. So it's you can expect to have a lot of laughs.
All right, thank you guys.
On Tuesday, a federal judge temporarily blocked President Trump's order to freeze trillions of dollars in federal grants and loans to make sure it's not helping woke ideology. And thank the gods for that judge, because Daddy needs money for school. The Chiefs will be going to the Super Bowl for their 3rd straight appearance. So it's a good thing the Eras tour is over, so Taylor Swift fans won't have to track her location to see if she will make it.
I will also be taking bets on whether she gets more screen time than the half-show performers. This year, the Chiefs will be getting a rematch against the Eagles, the first match being 2 years ago. With the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, the city of Philadelphia becomes Night City from Cyberpunk for a day. They grease the poles, all of the poles, so Eagles fans don't climb them, in what I assume is their best attempt at an Assassin's Creed impression. The city has to do this specifically because the Eagles played. It's not if the Eagles win, they riot, or if the Eagles lose, they riot. If the Eagles play the Super Bowl, they riot. There are videos of them tipping cars over from the last time the Eagles played. And I swear, man, if you live in Philadelphia, you need Eagles fan insurance. I mean, imagine waking up, about to go to work, and you see your car upside down in the middle of the street. But aside from that, we will be getting a free Kendrick Lamar concert. So while Philadelphia may be in flames doing their best impression of Australia, we might get the best halftime show performance of all time. So I'd say it's definitely worth it. Will Ferrell came face to face with Buddy the Elf, the axe murderer, and he may never be the same again.
At least he said it right.
Now he gets to join the millions of Americans that have been to Showbiz Pizza, or Chuck E. Cheese for those of us who weren't alive during the Reagan administration and don't remember owning a Sony portable cassette player. Now that January is over, all the gym bros across the country can breathe a sigh of relief now that they no longer have to share equipment with the New Year's resolutioners. And since we have yet to see grocery prices lower, those of us who vowed to eat healthier can feel relieved that they have an excuse to go back to eating fast food.
Joining us now, we have two actors in the upcoming Uindy theater production, Tick, Tick, Boom. Zacy, Natalie, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. Pretty
How
good.
are you feeling?
Okay.
Yeah.
Tired?
Tired.
Tell me a little bit about yourselves before we get started.
So I'm Zacy. I'm a senior theater major. Yeah, theater takes up most of my life.
I love that for you.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm a sophomore theater major, and theater also takes up most of my life.
So how long have you guys been involved in theater?
I've been involved in theater my entire life. Both my brothers did it in high school, so like I grew up going to see their productions, but then I started doing productions in middle school.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about you?
I always kind of wanted to do theater, and then when I was in around 3rd grade, my mom started doing stuff around town, and I was like, oh, I want to do that too. And so I took some classes, and now we're here.
Now you're here in college doing it.
Mhm.
So what drew you to audition for Tick, Tick, Boom?
So Tick Tick Boom has always been one of my favorite shows. I actually pitched it to Grant as one of the shows we should possibly do for this year.
Okay.
So it's
Creative mind, creative
yeah,
mind.
so it's always been like a dream show of mine to do.
At least you get to do it your senior
Mhm.
year.
Mhm.
What about you, Nat?
Well, other than the fact that we as theater majors are required to audition for every show, this is also one of my favorites, and I definitely bugged Zacy into bugging everyone into doing it this semester.
So it's mandatory for every theater major to audition for
Mhm.
every single show?
Yeah, to at least audition and like just show up to audition. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it, but
Just because auditioning is a thing you have to do as an actor, it's sort of just to practice that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. So how do you relate to your characters on like in the role for the show?
personally, so I play John in the show, and of all the characters I've ever played, I think John is the closest to me, especially with what like life is like right now of being a senior, feeling like the time is running out. Like it feels very close to like what's going on in my life right now.
What about you?
Yeah. So I'm kind of in the ensemble, but I also play Rosa, who is John's agent. And it's a little harder to relate to her because she is the one who breaks the news to him that his show's probably not going to work out. But it is fun to play a character who cares a lot about the arts and knows a lot about it and is trying to help someone grow as an artist. That's really fun to do, even if it doesn't work out super well for him in the end.
So how long have you guys been rehearsing so far?
3 weeks?
Yeah,
3
like
weeks?
since the semester started.
We started the first day of classes with our first
So
rehearsal.
what was the auditions?
It was-
December?
Yeah, it was early
Okay, so it was,
December.
like before we went on break.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then like the set list kind of came out.
Yeah, we got the cast list before break, and then we
Yeah.
started it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so far, what has been your favorite part of rehearsing for this production?
For me, it's just hanging out with everyone, honestly. This is a very fun show. The music is sort of a rock style. It's a small cast and we all know each other. And because it's a show that's kind of just about a guy living his life, a lot of it is really casual. And so a lot of it just feels like I'm up there playing pretend and dancing with my friends instead of like being some sort of fancy high-end performer. And it makes it so much more fun to just go up there and be silly and hang out with people who I like.
That's real. I did a couple plays when I was younger, and I feel like the earlier phases of it is like the honeymoon phase. And then as you get closer to the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. So, what has been the most challenging song or scene that you guys have had to perform?
For me, the opening song is probably the hardest for me vocally, just because it's a very difficult and it has very high notes. But other than the opening song, probably Therapy, which we haven't gotten to yet, but it's very fast paced and it's right on top and it has a lot of timing issues. So
that one's gonna
that
be
makes
tricky.
sense.
For me, luckily enough, most of what I'm doing is singing background harmonies and doing background dancing, which means I don't have to worry about belting a high note like Zacy does, but I do have to belt a low note while kicking at the same time.
Okay.
And so any like big group number is exhausting.
I feel like the one thing about like comm and theater is you definitely have to prepare for it.
Yeah.
So like how have you guys have to prepare for your roles?
for me, I've been just looking very much at the character and like trying to break down like the feelings and the general like what he's going through, and then I have like additional vocal lessons that I'm taking to help supplement to get me ready.
Okay.
I don't do too much to prepare to be my character. I made a Pinterest board for my character.
I love that.
That's about it. I get up early and eat a good breakfast, and I go to the rehearsals. And after our last vocal rehearsal, I found a piano app. And sometimes I will sit at home and I will play the notes I have to sing for myself in practice.
That's good.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Good. So what makes Tick Tick Boom special compared to other musicals that you've played in?
I think Tick Tick Boom is such like a personal and real story. Jonathan Larson is such a major figure in the theater community with Rent, obviously. And his passing, like he doesn't have much actual written work that people can produce, so it's either Rent or Tick Tick Boom for the most part. So it's really amazing to see like his story of his like struggles and all of that. I think that's really what makes the show powerful.
One thing that we've been doing as Uindy Theater this season is both of our main shows have focused on what it is like to do theater in sort of a meta way. Because Circle Mirror was about an acting class, and this show is about being a musical composer. And I think it's wonderful that we are doing shows that people in the audience can connect with, and that we as the people putting on the show can connect with really well. It is devastating a little bit, but also like refreshing and kind of like comforting to do a show that is about a guy that's just like us who is doing the best he can to make art.
Yeah, it's very bittersweet to be playing like the show. The show's about time and running out of time. And,
Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah,
Like,
and
is
so-
your life gonna blow up?
Yeah.
I get that. So like the story of Tick Tick Boom, like, do you ever connect it to your own experiences as students and artists? Because like being a theater major can be hard. Even a comm major could be hard too. And then now the two of them have combined. How does that resonate with you guys?
Like I said, like John is very close. Like we're not very different, at least in my head. Like of just like feeling again, being a senior, like being on the edge of graduating from college and like
Yeah.
trying to figure out like what's next, like what do you do after this, and it's really nice to be able to play with those ideas with John and like kind of work through my own things with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Same.
Yeah, not to the same extent for me because I am not playing John, but yeah.
So now, Natalie, you took 109 last semester. Why are you not in TV this semester? And do we have Tick Tick Boom to blame for that?
Number one, let's not place blame on anyone or anything.
No, because I feel like you should be up here with me. Like, where are you at?
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. I would love to be up here with you more often, but I didn't have time for radio or TV in my schedule, and also I'm taking on-air talent so I can do it in the future.
I know that's right because we are.
Yeah, we're in that class together.
Any final thoughts or words for the audience before we get to see the show?
I think come to the show. I mean,
Yeah.
even if you haven't watched the movie that's on Netflix, if you've never heard of this show before, even if you don't do theater, you're still going to connect to the ideas and the themes throughout of feeling of what is life and like what should you do. And I feel it's such a universal message for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it is relatable and it is, I think most of all, it's fun. This is a show that is fun to be in. It's a show that's fun to watch. It is a show where unfortunately the songs will be stuck in your head for months afterwards. And if I may make a bold statement on TV, I think Stacey is better than Andrew Garfield.
I don't know if maybe TV sponsors that message.
Yeah,
but
that's my own opinion.
Don't get us canceled before we go big. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you again to Ray and Kate for joining us earlier, or Kate and Caitlin, sorry. And then Zacy, Natalie, thank you so much. To all those watching, make sure you come back next week for another episode of Good Morning Greyhounds. And make sure you watch the rest of our Uindy TV productions on our YouTube channel and Xfinity Channel 1096. See you next week.